Well, hi guys, we're going to have a look at inverses of logs and exponentials. Fairly straightforward, but we'll run through it in case you've got any confusion, okay? Right, we've got to find the inverse of the function f of x equals e to the x plus 2, and that's the inverse of it, guys, and state the domain and the range of the inverse function, alright? So that's pretty clear. Alright, now, the main problem here is notation. Students mess the notation up. Something chronic, so let's just be careful. Y, I'm saying now, do you see at the outset how I say let y, I state that equal e to the x plus 2, because when I'm swapping x and y, I want to have a y here to swap, not an f of x. Okay, otherwise I'll get really all mucked up. So yes, that equals f of x, right? So make sure you state logical statements when you're starting to do these things. Okay? Don't just swap x and y willy-nilly out of the blue and expect someone to understand what you're doing. Okay, so what have we got there? So I've got the domain of f is all real numbers, yes, and I've also got the range, oh, that's equal to the range of the inverse, and I've got the range of the original function is from 2, not including 2, up to infinity, right, which is also going to be the domain of the inverse. Remember, everything swaps, x and y swaps, so domain is going to become range of the inverse, range is going to be domain of the inverse. Alright, so I've set it up very nicely at the start. So therefore, if y equals e to the x plus 2 for the inverse, we swap x and y. Do you notice how I stated that? So I can tell the poor person that's reading what I'm doing, instead of just expecting them to kind of figure it out. No offence to anybody, but that's what students do. Okay, so therefore I would get x equals e to the y plus 2. Then I'm going to solve that for y. So we get it like that, and then I take the log of both sides with a base of e. Okay? Yes? Now, you know the log rule says I can get this y, and I can flip him out there out the front. Right? Good. And you know that the log of e with respect to e is what? Of course, it's 1. So therefore y would be the log of x minus 2 with the base e. But of course that's not my answer, guys. Remember, the thing was originally stated as f of x, okay? F of x. So I've got to get back to that notation. So there we go, you see? I've got to write it like that, otherwise it's wrong. The inverse function f minus 1 of x would be log of x minus 2 with the base of e, where the domain of the inverse is this, which was the range of the original. That's right, isn't it? Have I got that right? Yes, that's right. And that's the range of the inverse, which was the domain of the original. That's what you have to do. Please, please be careful of your notation. That's what you've got to do. Oh, here we go. Remember to put it back into f minus 1 notation after swapping x and y. That's what I'm ranting about verbally for you as well, yes? Because you just see so much very, very bad notation, which loses marks. So just be careful. We've got to rewrite the equation y equals 2 log x plus 3 base e with x as the subject. Well, that's not hard, is it? That's pretty easy. Let's do that. Okay, so therefore, rearranging the above equation, we've got log of x would be y minus 3 over 2. Okay, now you've got to know how to express that in a non-loggy way. So where's your base? There's your base. Where's your index? There's your index. And where's your number? There's your number. So base to index equals number, right? Okay, base to index equals number. Yes? Happy? Good. Now what's this one? Find the inverse of this function here. Oh, well, let's just see now. What do we got? The inverse. Alright, so we've got to do the proper inverse stuff. Now, do we have to find the domain and range? Yeah, we do. Alright, that's alright. Let's just go for it. See that? See what I've written? Let y equal that. Okay, I'm stating it right at the outset. And then I'm going to put the domain and the range of the original, which are going to become the range and the domain respectively of the inverse, because we have to state those according to the requirements of the question. Now let's go swapping our x and y's, and we'll get this. Okay, have a look. Right, good. Now we've got to solve it for y and then get back to our proper notation. Yes? So there we've got that, and we get that. Now add 1 to both sides, and we're nearly there, but we've got to use the proper notation, guys. There we are. See? There we are. Now, did I get the domain right? Yes, that was the range of the original, and the range is the domain of the original. Happy? But look, you know, I'll stop ranting, but you know what I'm about to say, don't you? Well, just do it. Please do it. That's what you got to do. Right, what are we doing here? This is the last one, I think. Rewrite the equation P equals AE to the KT with T as the subject. Well, I don't see any problem with that, do you? Nice and simple. So therefore we've got our original equation, we're getting it into that form there. Now we're going to take the log of both sides with the base of E. Yes, and then we're going to put this KT out the front there, and Bob's your uncle. Divide both sides, what are we solving for? T. So we just divide both sides by K, and we get that. That's it, guys. That's it. Happy? Very good. Alright, you go off and do some practice, and you'll get really, really good at those, okay? And we'll see you next time.